Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman. The first day of the offseason is here. So on today's show, we're going to be diving into a perfect Minnesota Vikings offseason plan. It's a 5-step plan, and you guys know we're going to be addressing the quarterback position. But the offseason is here. Obviously, the season did not go the way we wanted to with injuries, kind of some luck not going our way, and just, overall bad play. The Vikings are here right now, and it's the first day of the offseason, and that's why you guys got to make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. My goal here is to put out the best offseason content for you diehard Vikings fans. We're almost at 22,000 subs, need about 84 more of you guys to hit that sub button, and also just want to say thank you to all 21,916 of you guys who hit that sub button. It was a ton of fun just kind of going through this season with you guys, so seriously, thank you so much. Your support on the channel does not go unnoticed, and just shout out to all the real ones out there who just support our channel all the time, and it really does mean a lot. But hey, if you're new here and haven't hit that sub button yet, make sure you guys do so. Right down there, free, easy way. Let's hit 22K for our guy, Harrison Smith. But number one of the perfect offseason plan for the Minnesota Vikings, you guys knew I was going to go here. It has to be to figure out the quarterback position. That's the biggest question mark right now because the Vikings have a ton of options. You could bring back Kirk Cousins. You could go draft a quarterback. And my plan is kind of in the middle. I think the Vikings have both options available to them. Step one of this plan, I would give Kirk a 1 or 2 year deal. I think he's earned it. And I continuously think back to this season where we were in Green Bay. It was 17-3. Vikings just got the ball back after a turnover, and Kirk Cousins hits Jordan Addison up the seam for a big-time touchdown. I'm sitting there thinking, this team's legit. This team can go compete with any team in the NFC. I think Kirk has earned that right to be the QB1 for next season, and I would give him a 1 to 2 year deal. And I honestly do think Kirk would maybe take a little less than some people would think, just because of the family aspect. I don't think he wants to move out of Minnesota, and maybe if Kwesi sits him down and says, hey, we'll give you 2 for $60, fully guaranteed, I think Kirk could maybe take that deal. But also, if you do that, I do think you should also draft a quarterback. I don't think, extending Kirk Cousins, means you can't draft a guy, because right now the Vikings are selecting 11th in this year's draft, and there's a ton of options that come to mind. Obviously, you got the big home run hits, where it's like Caleb Williams or Drake May. Do I think they have a chance to get those guys? Probably not. Maybe it's Drake May. Maybe the Vikings do offer a haul to move up there and go get a guy like May, because we heard they were very big on Anthony Richardson last year, so maybe they go and try to get their guy, but it could be a guy like Michael Penix, and maybe you can sit there at 11 and draft Penix. Maybe also unlikely. I think you are going to have to trade into the top 10 to get Penix out of Washington, but he would be a great choice. I'm a big fan of Penix, big-time arm. He's got sneaky mobility. Obviously, the concerns with him are the torn ACLs that he did suffer at Indiana. But, this year for the Washington, he was fantastic. National championship game today where he's squaring off against this guy, J.J. McCarthy. J.J. at 11, I would like the move. Some people do view him as maybe a later-round quarterback. I think he's pretty good, and I wouldn't be upset if the Vikings did take him at the 11th overall spot. But, I do think this was the guy that I would go get. It would go get Jaden Daniels. And maybe if this was a different situation, maybe if the Vikings were in more of a, we need to go and get like the no-doubt franchise guy where he's not going to be a bust. But right now, Jaden Daniels is the definition of a boom or bust prospect. I think he is either going to be a home run, knock it out of the park, and he will be one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League, or he could end up not working out. But the reason why I'll go get Jaden Daniels, because I think with a quarterback like that, that's got that boom or bust potential, you need a strong support system around him. Well, the Vikings, I think in comparison to any NFL team, I think the Vikings offer one of the best support systems you can. Look at this just arsenal of weapons that they would be able to offer a young QB. Obviously, you got Justin Jefferson. I think he's best receiver in football. We'll touch on him here in a second. But also Jordan Addison. You're going to have 2 wide receivers for the next 5, 7, 10 years where you can really rely on, and they will be one of the best tandems in the NFL. Whatever you think of Kevin O'Connell, I think it helps to have a young offensive head coach for a young rookie quarterback. I think that's a plus. And also, yes, the defense did fall off at the second half of the year, but if they will bring back Flores, bring back Danielle Hunter, I think this will be a good defense, more middle of the pack next season if we're kind of taking a bird's eye view right now, but you would have a solid defense. You got a franchise tight end. TJ Hawkinson really struggled at the beginning of the year with the drops and just all of that, but he did really turn it around in the second half of the year. Obviously, up in there if he'll be ready for week 1, but you got a franchise tight end. Then you also got 2 elite tackles. You got Darisaw. You got Brian O'Neill. You got a bunch of guys that can really, solidify that offensive line and just make the life overall easier for a guy like Jaden Daniels. So I think these are the top 3 options for the Vikings right now. I think it's JJ, Michael Penix, and Jaden Daniels. If you guys had to pick a QB out of all 3 of those guys, let me know who would be. Again, if it would be Daniels, I think you're going to have to trade up. Same thing with Penix, but if you had to sit at the 11, and let's just say all 3 of them are there, let me know who you're taking. JJ for JJ McCarthy, MP for Penix, and JD for Jaden Daniels. Number 2 of my perfect offseason plan, the biggest no-duh statement in Vikings media right now, and that is extending Justin Jefferson. And I've heard some crazy talks out there from people that are saying, oh, maybe the Vikings should consider trading JJ. They could get 3 first-round picks for Justin Jefferson. Don't do that. Hand him a blank check. Give him whatever he wants, because even yesterday against the Lions, going for over 190 yards. I'm just watching this guy with Nick Mullins in at quarterback, and I'm just saying he is the most dominant player outside of a quarterback in the entire NFL, including all those edge rushers. I think he honestly might be the MVP of non-quarterbacks. And this year, in 10 games played, this is what he put up, over 1,000 yards. And also, I do want to say, 2 of those games, he left early. So this is pretty much in, 8.5, 9 games. He went for 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. He was that deep threat that he's always been in the NFL with 15.8 yards per catch. And, man, he's just been special this year, going for 1,000 yards. And just happy that he is in Minnesota because, man, I wouldn't want to see him anywhere else. And that's why don't trade him. I know there's some talk out there of trading Jefferson, getting a haul. Do not do it. I'm against it. Hand him a blank check. Give him whatever he wants. Number 3 for me, it's got to be the big man on defense. It's got to be Danielle Hunter, mainly just because of what he did this season. Going into the year, I was kind of indifferent on paying Hunter. Like, I kind of understood both sides of it, where it was like, are you going to pay a guy who had 2 season-ending surgeries, who's entering, age 30, kind of getting up there in age? But Danielle Hunter this year, just on unreal numbers. 16.5 sacks in 17 games, 23 TFLs. That was the thing with Hunter that we always kind of had questions about. Is he good in the run game? Can he set the edge well enough? Well, he did that this year. He had pop plays countless times in the run defense, 23 TFLs, 85 pressures, 4 forced fumbles, that's a tongue twister, and 16.5 sacks. He is that top edge, and he has earned every single cent of what the Vikings would think about paying him. I would give him probably around, I wouldn't give him top 5 edge money, but I would give him top 10 edge money for maybe a 2 to 3 year deal. Have him be that cornerstone of your defense, and I think it'll end up working out pretty well for the Vikes. So those are my top 3 moves right now that I think the Vikings need to make. Figure out the QB position, extend Jefferson, also pay Danielle Hunter. I got 2 more coming your way in just a second, but I do want to give a big-time shout out to today's sponsor of Vikings Now, and that is Game Time, the best ticket purchasing app out there. If you guys download Game Time and use that code VikingsChat, you guys will receive $20 off your first purchase. I absolutely love using Game Time. The best feature on the app is when you're actually looking at your seats, you guys can look around and see exactly where you would be sitting. Game Time is one of the best it is the best ticket purchasing app out there. And if you guys download Game Time and use code VikingsChat, you're going to put it in right here, VIKINGSCHAT. You're going to get this screen, put in that code VikingsChat. You're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Promise you, you won't regret it. Download Game Time today. No matter what you are going to that requires buying a ticket, concert, sporting event, Timberwolves game, no matter what it may be, you guys are buying a ticket, I guarantee you Game Time has it. So use Game Time today. Prices drop as the event gets closer. Lowest price guaranteed. Download Game Time. Use that code VikingsChat. You guys will receive $20 off your first order. Now, let's kick it to, let's keep it on the defensive side of the ball. Add more cornerback depth. I think this is honestly gone an underrated kind of need of the Vikings offseason. I've heard people talk about, obviously, the QB positions getting, a lot of talk right now. But I think cornerback, again, is an issue. And I think everybody but Evans and Murphy can go. And this didn't even mean, or I don't even mean like, Byron Murphy and Caleb Evans are no doubt good NFL players. I think they're both solid, but we've seen Byron Murphy constantly this year get cooked. He got cooked by Keenan Allen. He got cooked by DJ Moore. He missed the last couple games of the year due to injury. Like, I still have my questions on Byron Murphy. Caleb Evans, He got cooked yesterday. I still got questions about him, but I like what I've seen. He plays with a true aggression in the run game, which I like. I always feel like he's coming down, making plays in the backfield out of the secondary. But besides that, everybody else can go, and that's why you're going to need to go get a true CB1. Whether it's free agency, the draft, maybe the Vikings don't want to take a quarterback, and maybe they say, we're going to build around Kirk Cousins. Go get a guy like Kool-Aid McKinstry. Go get a guy like Nate Wiggins. Go try to get that true CB1. I think it would just help this defense immensely. And I think they really do need it because, listen, even though Byron Murphy, he got cooked a lot this year, he would be a whole lot better as a cornerback 2 in comparison to a cornerback 1. Go find your Xavier Rhodes from 2017. Go find that true lockdown guy. I think it will help this defense a ton. That's why I got it at number 4 on my perfect offseason. This hurts, guys. This hurts. You guys see it right there. Number 5, cutting Harrison Smith. This even hurts to put this graphic up on screen right now, but the Vikings would save $11.38 million by cutting him pre-June 1st, and I think this is likely. Like I was just saying, this would hurt a lot, but this seems like the likely move for the Vikings. And Harrison Smith, if we're being honest, he's the 3rd best safety on this roster right now. I think Cam Bynum and Josh Metellus have thoroughly outplayed him this whole year. He just looks a step slow. He had that great game in Carolina when he was blitzing him off the edge, using him as that Swiss Army knife. But I just think maybe time has kind of caught up to Harry here, and he's definitely lost a step. We've seen it the last couple of seasons. So you can cut him right now and save $11.38 million, and I do think that might be the right move for the Vikings. So I got that as number 5, perfect offseason. The Vikings are going to need to clear up cap space because, not even besides, Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins and Danielle Hunter, the guys you're going to have to pay. What about Christian Darrisaw too? You're going to have to make some decisions here, and honestly, I just think the safety position is just something that you can find another guy in the draft or whatever to be that 3rd or 4th safety, but you're not going to give that up to Harrison Smith, especially with the emergence of Cam Bynum and Josh Metellus this past season. But that doesn't mean we can't show him some love on today's video. Show Harry some love. Type those 22s. Guys, I'm not going to lie. It really hurt putting that up there, but it is just the right move for this ball club right now, and I think the Vikings, I think it's likely that they do it. But type 22, show Harrison Smith some love. He's been killing it in the purple and gold for countless years now. And that's why also, guys, hit that subscribe button. The offseason is here. We're going to be giving you guys the best offseason videos, I promise you, on the internet. Hit that sub button. Let's hit 22K on today's video for Harrison Smith. See y'all next time. Skol Vikes.